Good evening, everybody. Good evening to everybody who's joining us for this webinar. It's going to be a very interesting one. We'll wait while a couple of others also join us, and then we'll start the webinar shortly. So today's webinar is Ask Us Anything, which means that if there's any question, any query, any confusion in your head about studying abroad, this is the place you should be at. If there's any friend, if there's any colleague, any peer who's also looking to study abroad, please send them the link. This will be a roughly 30 minutes to a 45-minute session. You can invite them over any time. They can come and ask us their questions. I see we have a couple of participants. All of you, if you have any study abroad related queries, please feel free to drop it in the Q&A box. We will be taking all of your questions one by one. We'll try to understand the decision behind going abroad and what is it that is exactly curtailing that decision, or how are you falling short. My colleague Arushi has also dropped in our social media handles. So till the time we don't start the webinar, you can go like, comment, subscribe to our channels for study abroad related content. We put a lot of content about visa, intakes, how can you finance your education abroad, what university, what course to pick. These are very small things, but when it comes to the big decision of studying abroad, very monumental in cementing that decision. So you can follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. We also have links for the bachelor programs, master programs, and the booster program. Apart from that, you can also join upGrad Abroad's WhatsApp broadcast channel, for which my colleague Arushi has dropped in the link. If you're falling short in time and you want us to ask a question that we can answer later, we have our handle social@upgradabroad.com, wherein you can drop in your name, email ID, phone number, and the exact nature of your concern. We will make sure that you are connected to an expert counselor and you can understand all of your questions through him or her. Okay, I think we can start. So anybody in the participants, do you have any questions related to studying abroad, or we can start with general questions? Okay, I see a question in the Q&A box. What happens if I apply to a university through upGrad Abroad Excel program, but the university deems me ineligible? How will that be handled? Firstly, there is an in-depth training. So let me first introduce our guest as well, who will be helping us. He's an expert at handling studying abroad queries and concerns. He is a senior academic counselor with upGrad Abroad, who's been working with us since our inception. Mr. Vishwajit Chan, thank you so much for joining us. A very warm welcome to you.
Thank you so much, Aprajita. And yeah, hello guys.
Okay, Vishwajit, so we have our first question. Let's see. So if they apply to a university and they are not eligible, they've applied through us, how will that be handled? Kya solution hai is cheez ka?
Okay, so eventually this is one thing which I feel like a majority of the students are having in their mind, like what if my profiles get rejected? But they don't have to worry about it if they are coming to upGrad Abroad, because we are having a pool of universities with us, right? And counselors what we are having. So any which ways, like we will be coming up with some sort of solutions and universities, right? Because it's not only one or two, we are having many where they can get their perfect solution or the courses what exactly they are looking for. So they don't have to worry about it.
Okay. So Vishwajit has very cleverly told you that don't worry. It is not one university and one program. If you're not eligible for a certain program, we can find a similar program for you in another university in that country. Our portfolio is spread over 9 countries. We have over 50 universities partnered with us. So don't worry, that is not a problem. Your counselor will help you out with that. Riaz is asking, can my grandfather be my sponsor for US process? Riaz, this webinar is not about financing. Financing was last week. That recorded link, Arushi, can you please share that link for Riaz? If we have a Zoom recorded link wherein we're talking about who can finance your education. Today, we're talking about any concerns you have about studying abroad or whether financing is a concern, then Vishwajit can help you out with the loan process. That we have so many lending partners. There are a lot of fintech companies that help us with that. Riaz, do you want to know about how we help you sponsor your education? Is that something that we can help you with? I am waiting for you guys to put in your questions. Till then, maybe Vishwajit, we can tackle a few basic ones. Countries, programs and intakes. So when you get a call कि यार मुझे बाहर जाना है पढ़ने, आप क्या pitch करते हो? What country do you pitch? क्या program pitch करते हो? Intake अभी के लिए अगर हमारे participants को, they are all aspirants who want to study abroad. तो country, program, intake की कैसे? How do we understand कि किसको क्या pitch करना है या कौन क्या select करे? For me, it's very confusing. Please help us.
Yeah. So basically, see, like while deciding for the abroad education, right? So first of all, any student who is coming, so they are very confused. Like they're not at that position where they can decide like which course or which country at first they want to go. So they need a proper guidance in terms of the countries first. Like meko kis country mein jana chahiye. Post that they decide, okay, this is the course which I'm looking, right? So first, what we try to do is to give a proper understanding about the countries, like where exactly you should target for, because this is something which is going to decide your overall upcoming career, right? So country is done, then comes the course part, of course, like coming from any XYZ background. So which course is going to help you out base, right? So that's what they need to decide. And in terms of intake, let's say if I talk about now, so whosoever students are coming to us, so mostly like they'll be going for September intake or Jan 25, whatever the intakes they are planning, right? And of course, it varies from country to country as well. So it depends like where exactly they want to go, and based on that, the intakes differ.
Okay, so what I understand is कि ये बहुत simple decision भी नहीं है और ये बहुत complicated decision भी नहीं है, but guidance बहुत important है. You need to connect to somebody who knows. तो विश्वजीत को पता है कि अगर आपका academic experience X है या Y है या Z है या आपने एक पर्टिकुलर जगह से पढ़ाई की है, तो आपका रेज्यूमे आगे बढ़ाने के लिए कौन सी कंट्री में आपको जाना चाहिए, या अगर आपका बजट इतना है तो आप कौन सी कंट्री में जा सकते हो, या आपके लिए प्रोग्राम कौन सा फिट है. तो अकॉर्डिंग टू विश्वजीत, इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू गेट काउंसल्ड करेक्टली. काउंसलर ठीक होना चाहिए, उसके बाद कंट्री, प्रोग्राम, इंटेक सब कुछ फिगर आउट हो जाता है. अगेन आई वांट टू स्ट्रेस ऑन द फैक्ट कि स्टडिंग अब्रॉड बहुत डिफिकल्ट डिसीजन नहीं है, बट इसके पीछे की प्लानिंग इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. अगर आप बिना प्लान किए, बिना रिसर्च करे इस डिसीजन में कूद जाओगे कि नहीं मुझे बाहर पढ़ना है पर मुझे कुछ नहीं पता, तो फिर आपको एक गाइड की जरूरत है, काउंसलर की जरूरत है. एंड upGrad abroad has one of the best, like we have the best counselors that you can come and refer to and ask for guidance, understand. You can take a free one-on-one counseling session as well. Okay, coming to academic eligibility for your choice of program, कुछ questions हैं जो I think हम answer कर लेते हैं. Can Sri Lankan students get accommodation by your program? Vishwajit, can Sri Lankan students?
Okay, so in terms of international students, right? So eventually we are actually dealing with majority of the students. So accommodation is something which is totally country specific. आप जा रहे हो उस country पे for the university part, so you are getting assisted by our onshore buddies and all. So it depends on the situation. आप वहाँ पे जाओ, there you'll be getting assisted. So accommodation is something that will be taken care by the buddies itself.
Okay. So that is not a problem. We have an upGrad division for international students as well. So don't worry, you will have somebody who will help you with your accommodation. We have end-to-end services, so it's not just enrollment. उसके बाद की जितनी भी services हैं, जैसे visa हो गया या accommodation हो गई या onshore जाके part-time work हो गया, all of that is we give assistance with that. So Riaz is asking, Vishwajit, this is for your attention. We have a joint family business. So my grandfather is the proprietor and my dad and uncles are equal owners. They have good financial history, but my dad cannot sponsor me. So can my grandfather sponsor me? Is that something that you can answer?
Okay, so this is very much specific about the finance part, right? So eventually, like we're having one specific dedicated team for finance. So
Okay.
it would be great, like if we Riaz can, like drop his mail ID and number. So our like finance team will get in touch with him. So that
Okay.
will give you a better clarity in that case.
Okay, so Riaz, your question is a little in depth, and sometimes because we are not giving you the loan, the finance company is giving you the loan, so they can assist you better in how to get the best loan possible, lowest interest rate possible. आप क्या करोगे कि आपको लोन बहुत ही अफोर्डेबल रेट पे मिल जाए, तो उसके लिए उनसे कनेक्ट करना is more beneficial. Please drop in your number and email ID at social@upgradabroad.com. Arushi, please keep putting the link in the chat box. आप वहाँ पे अपना number और email ID डालिए. We will make sure that we connect you to the finance team and they can help you out in detail. Nivedita is saying, if I want to do my master's from Germany, but that should be on campus, not online. So is it possible? Vishwajit, 100% off on campus. Is that possible?
Yes, of course it is. So that's why like it's all the segment that we are working with. It's not only the specific certain model. So of course, even for the like on-campus part, if Nivedita needs any help, she can also drop her, like a mail and number over there. So like our dev team will get in touch with her, and they are the best one, which I feel, who can actually guide her out for the good universities for Germany.
Okay, Nivedita, so we have two verticals. We have upGrad abroad direct admissions team. So if you want to pursue a normal on-campus program wherein आपको कोई भी online component नहीं attend करना है, आपको direct university जाना है, direct admissions team is going to help you out with that. You can also drop in your number at social@upgradabroad.com. Please copy the email ID from the chat box only. Otherwise, at upgrad.com पे नहीं exist करता है, at upgradabroad.com है. So please pick that up. But it is possible. 100%. That is the conventional model. आप अगर बाहर पढ़ने जाना चाहते हैं, we can help you. Our model is a hybrid model, wherein 1 year you study here, 1 year or similar amount of months, and then the other part you go and complete on campus. Prateek is saying, this is very interesting. I want to hear Vishwajit answer this. Tuition fees in German universities is 0. Is that correct?
Yeah, so this is one of the very like frequent queries which we get from the students. Ki मेरे को Germany जाना है because like the tuition fees over there it's 0. So I would like highlight over, it's not something, it's a sort of a tricky part which like the social media or the university represents. It's not 0 what you should say, but eventually if you compare with other countries, of course it is very less. And that too if you're targeting for, let's say, for any public funded universities, right? So comparatively with applied science university, you have to pay less, but of course it's not exact 0, I should say. It depends on the profile, what sort of scholarship you're getting and all.
Okay. So it is not 0. Maybe some public universities have very, very marginalized rates, but it is not 0. And also, Prateek, for me, I think when you want to study abroad, more than the finance part, which we can manage for you, think about why you want to go to Germany. कौन सा program आप करना चाहते हो, कौन सी university जाना चाहते हो, ये बड़े questions हैं. अगर price 0 भी होगा और आपका choice of program नहीं होगा, तो फिर आपका जाने का भी कोई वो नहीं होगा. But I understand the finance concern, and that's why we keep having these webinars repeatedly on finance, कि आप अपनी education कैसे finance कर सकते हो. You can go to our YouTube channel, you can go to our social media channel and see कि हम बहुत content इसके बारे में post करते हैं. But it is not 0. Okay. Kenna Rohingya was that? Okay, I don't want to read this question out loud. Not that it is anything to do with the question. Saikat Chatterjee. This is something that I don't want to discuss on a public forum. कि आपका क्या status है और आप कैसे apply कर सकते हैं. ये हम आपको will give you a dedicated counselor who can understand what section of society do you come from, what status can be applied for you. This is not something to be discussed on a public forum, but we can work this out. This is not something that is new. We can work this out. Is doing masters in the US better or PGDM in Canada better for a better future? Abhi bhi aap Canada soch rahe ho. I'm very happy. Okay. Vishwajit, क्या better है? Masters in the US better है कि PGDM in Canada is better for future?
So in terms of job opportunities, because of course our future is all about job options, settlement and growth, right? So of course having a degree is always better than having a diploma. So in that case, it depends, like if you're okay to have good pay packages and everything with a degree with some investment, so you can plan for USA without any doubt. But yeah, Canada is something someone is looking for a shorter, but looking at the current situation, it's quite different. But then it's quite interesting. Guys are still looking for Canada at this point.
Canada, yes, very interesting. The moment I read it, I was like, "Achha, okay, they're still looking." Okay, for all people who've joined us now or maybe 5 minutes back, it is a Q&A session, unplugged study abroad discourse, which means jo bhi aapka question hai, we will try to answer. Vishwajit Chan is our esteemed guest. He is a senior academic counselor. He has been working with us for 2 years, so he knows all the kind of questions that come our way. Feel free to put in your questions in Hindi or English. यही दो languages आते हैं मुझे, तो वही मैं समझ पाऊंगी. तो इसमें आप question, जो भी आपका question है, आप please Q&A box में डालो, and we'll make sure that to the best of our ability we can answer those questions. देखिए, कोई भी चीज एक one-on-one free counseling session को replace नहीं कर सकते, because we don't have your transcripts, we don't have your background. But if you have a specific question that this is something on my mind, we can help you. Okay, Neil says that I am still in the 7th semester of my B.Tech. How should I start my preparation for masters in Germany? Vishwajit.
Okay, so in terms of this semester part, right? So of course it depends. Like Neil, आपको किस field में जाना, like which branch you are coming up with, whether you want to get into applied science or research, right? So that's a very like very quite very niche sort of profile, you can say. So in a generalized way, it would not work, like if you ask me now. But of course, like any personal counseling would actually help him out. So that is the best thing which I would say for now.
Okay, so I think that you're in time, you're not late. How should I prepare? First of all, concentrate on your grades, shortlist your university. आपने Germany तो already choose कर लिया है. Masters में which program do you want to do? I think anything typically 1 to 1.5 years before you fly should be good. Also with hybrid programs, you get that opportunity that if you apply immediately after your B.Tech, एक साल आप आराम से online पढ़ो, उस पे concentrate करो, you can take up part-time work or whatever, and then you fly out to your country. So you're not late, you're in time. Actually, कभी भी late नहीं होता पढ़ने के लिए. We should always keep upskilling ourselves. Whatever life stage we are in, studying never gets old. Abhishek is okay. So ये बड़ा popular question है, विश्वजीत को आता होगा on a daily basis. IELTS mandatory है कि नहीं? अभिषेक पूछ रहे हैं, and is spouse so basically पूछना चाहते हैं कि spouse or child, can they also come on the dependent visa, Germany?
Okay, so for Germany, of course, like for a student visa, they need an APS for to apply for student visa, and for APS, IELTS is mandatory, right? So by default, you have to appear for it. And for the spouse visa, like in terms of dependent visa, it is something where you cannot call your dependents at the time you are studying, right? You can just ask them once you are done with your course, because any which ways they cannot work. So meanwhile, in between, if you want, you can just call them for a family reunion visa. That's what you can do.
Okay, that is interesting. So he's saying कि IELTS तो देना पड़ेगा, Abhishek. IELTS का, because you need your APS certificate, so that's very important. For spouse and child visa, he's saying you can get a family reunion visa till the time you're studying. After that, a dependent visa can be managed. Amisha is asking, between US and Australia, which country is better for an MS in data science in terms of opportunities and ROI? My immediate answer would have been the US, but let's see what Vishwajit says.
Yeah, so again, this is something which is very much, like profile specific. Like if I talk about data, so currently, like wherever you are moving, so you are going to have very good opportunities irrespective of countries, whether you're moving to US or Australia, or even for the sake, if you're moving to Canada as well. Right. So it depends like what opportunities you are actually planning, like what sort of ROI you are expecting. Right. So for some ROI, it's all about learning. For some ROI, it's all about monetary hike. So that's a pretty, like specific part what you can say. But yeah, in terms of options, Amisha, you're asking me, US is something, of course, you can plan, but it's up to you, like what exactly. So
okay. So what I understand from Vishwajit's answer, and it's brilliant, that he's saying that दो countries में comparison only is possible when we know external variables. जब तक वो नहीं पता, we'll not be able to help you with ROI. What is ROI for you? Do you want to get a six-figure job? Is that your ROI? Or do you want to do your master's and PhD and you are trying to understand what is the level of research innovation there? That is your ROI. What is and also what is the investment you are initially wanting to make? So usme bhi difference hai. How much are you ready to invest when you're going to study abroad for a master's in data science? That also matters for an ROI. That is your base level metric. So Amisha, US would have been my answer as well. But agar you want to get your in-depth profile evaluation, if you want to understand according to your profile which country is better, do you have some friends, relatives in in Australia, is why you said US or Australia? We can understand all of that. You can drop in your contact details on social@upgradabroad.com. Okay, Vishwas is saying, can you please tell us a little bit about post-master's visa situation in the US? Vishwajit, क्या situation hai?
Yes, so in terms of situation, there's no as such issue of getting the post-study work visa, right? So it's all about skill-based market. So a course complete karo, get a job, and any which is you'll be getting it. So OPT is something which is not which is there. You don't have to worry about it at this point of time.
Vishwajit, can you tell them a little bit more कि OPT क्या होता है? Because sometimes maybe they are not aware कि OPT visa होता क्या है. तो masters खत्म हो गया, अब क्या हुआ मेरे साथ?
Okay, so OPT is basically optional practical training. Like simple words में से post study work visa ही बोलते हैं, ठीक है, for US. So let's say if you're going for any sort of courses that is related to STEM, so you are eligible to get an OPT of 1+2, that is up to 36 months, with a condition that you need to find a job within 90 to 150 days. ठीक है, उसके बाद आपका visa extend होता है. And if you're going for any non-STEM program, STEM is basically science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So for non-STEM, it's up to 12 months, that is of 1 year. So ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं कि situation खराब है or something like that. It's all situation is all good. It's all about your skill, how exactly you are just like utilizing it.
Great. So this question I hear a lot कि situation क्या होगी, job मिलेगी कि नहीं, job मिलेगी कि नहीं. A lot of this has to do with your skill set. A lot of this has to do with how much have you studied. What is your input? I see people getting jobs very easily, and I see people who struggle, and that has nothing to do with the program or the university or how you went to that university. Sometimes your input is lesser. So आपको जाके मेहनत करनी है. Hard work का कोई substitute नहीं है. So you need to work hard, take those part-time jobs, apply. I know people who've applied 200 times to different jobs, and then 201st time they get that job. So persistence की होता है हर चीज का. So कोई भी country खराब या situation नहीं है. It's just about how much is it that you have in yourself. Pratik. Okay, which country is good for medical courses if the student is not excellent but above average in academics and zero in curricular activities? Pratik, you shouldn't. That is okay. Not everybody has to be good in co-curricular activities, but which country is good for medical courses, Vishwajit?
Yeah, so I'm very sorry for this, Pratik. Actually, like medical is not my forte, right? But eventually, in this case, you can just drop your contact details. Like medical team will get in touch with you. So this is something which I'm not taking care of. Yeah.
Okay. So medical studies एक अलग ही field है, and उसके लिए we have specialized people who just deal with that, because there are a lot of things and a lot of certificates, etc., that they have to collate. So Pratik, please drop in your email ID and contact number, not in the chat, but social@upgradabroad.com. We will get back to you. How accommodation can help in USA, especially Drexel University? Bhanu is asking, Vishwajit, how do we help with accommodation near Drexel University?
So that's a very good part, Bhanu. Like eventually we are having our onshore buddies over there, right? So that's what the USP upGrad abroad is offering to every of our student. Like not only in India, the time we are moving to any of the countries, so there as well you're going to get assistance from our side. So buddies are there, you don't have to worry about it. They're going to help you out for all your accommodation concerns, whatever you'll be having.
Okay. So we have upGrad onshore buddies. I don't know if you know about these buddies. So they are students, either our learners or alumni of that institute, who help students get accommodation, get well versed with the city, get part-time work. So you're not left alone in Germany on day one. कि Berlin गए और पहले दिन you are just looking कि कैसे क्या करना है. You have somebody who can guide you. So, yes, accommodation near Drexel University can be managed, not to worry. For all students who are joining us now, this is an Ask Us Anything session where you can ask any study abroad related query. Vishwajit is our expert who has done this for many years. He's been a senior academic consultant with upGrad abroad. Except finance and very detailed visa questions, जो कि हम भी capable हैं उनका answer करने के लिए, we can answer academic eligibility question. Okay. Can a student work in the US and manage their fees and cost of living by doing part-time work?
Okay, so this is something which for I came up with these sort of questions by a few of the students. So see, for USA they're very strict in terms of education laws and part-time, right? So they don't allow any student to work out of the campus during their education journey. So they're allowed to work or allowed to do only on-campus part-time jobs. So it's quite difficult. I would not say like it's possible for any of the student to manage their finances like whole and soul for fees. But at some extent, they can just like manage their living costs, but of course not 100% for sure, because
Okay.
that's what they can just earn from their part time.
Okay, that's an honest answer. We have, so we've recently posted a story about Varshita, about Janvi, who is studying at GGU. She's doing her MBA in finance and she is working at the university. We have Bharat at Clark University, who is working in the university. We have Varshita, who's working in the university. So US में काम करने के लिए you have to work in campus. They're very strict. Out of campus आप काम नहीं कर सकते हो. Also very honestly, Vishwajit said कि नहीं, all of your fee cannot be managed. You can manage your living cost. You can help yourself, but not entirely. You will have to pursue a finance option in that case. Another anonymous question. I'm pursuing my final year now. I want to go to the US for masters. That's great. You can drop in your contact email ID and contact number for us to get back to you. social@upgradabroad.com is where you need to drop in your email ID and contact number. Hi Rajan, I have 13 years of, he's saying he's 13 years of experience in sales and marketing. Do these people transit from their profile at this stage to a data analyst? I mean, will it be an odd thing or a common transition? Vishwajit, is that something you want to take?
Yes. So in terms of transition part, like Ranjan, if you see, right, so this is something which, like a few of the students were asking, like, let's say I'm coming from XYZ, like a different domain, I want to get into data or into development. So if they are going with the direct part, it was quite difficult. So that's what solution, which upGrad abroad had started as a hybrid one, where the part of the course which are the credits what they're completing over here, so it is basically working as a transition for them itself, right? So it becomes quite in their favor, I should say, like where the guys having experience of 13 years or 15 years have even, right? And they're getting that opportunity to do the transition to any of the XYZ countries if they're willing to move. So yes, Ranjan, if you're asking yes or no, so my answer is yes, you can do that.
Okay, that is perfect. So Rajan, I feel if you're thinking, so in academic terms, Vishwajit has already answered your question that it'll be easy. We have seen people even up to 20-25 years. We have posted a testimonial for that matter, who has a lot of experience. He's from IIT Delhi and now he's going to Germany. I don't think any number of experience, any number of years in experience should make it an uncommon transition. Transition के लिए आपको 1 year मिलेगा, wherein you will be up to date, because I can understand that you haven't been studying, you're working. So in those terms, it will be a very comfortable transition. Otherwise, I don't think education has an age. I'm sure there are so many working professionals like you who think of going abroad even at 15-20 years of work. So I think that it should be very comfortable. Chetan says, I'm pursuing M.Tech in artificial intelligence and I've completed 2 semesters in IIT Mandi in M.Tech by research in artificial intelligence. So is it possible that I would get admission in 3rd semester? Oh, so no, I think the answer is no, but Vishwajit, I'm going to put it in your quote, please.
Yeah, it's same like directly getting into 3rd semester for US, it's quite difficult. I should say it's not possible. It's just you can actually go for a student exchange program. That's the only option which anyone can opt for.
Okay. So in your case, if you want to immediately go and your university does have a student exchange program or you apply for a student exchange program only then. But other than that, what would be a good idea is that you complete your education with good marks and then you start with your hybrid master's degree where you do your first year online, get prepared with everything, and second year on campus. Pooja, which country has better placement opportunities and what is the future of data science? Pooja, future of data science is a very, very big question. That's not related to studying abroad, but yes, which country has a good placement opportunity rate is something Vishwajit can tell us.
Yeah, so in terms of like a placement part, any student can always target for the countries who are having very good tech hub. Like eventually they can target for US, they can target for Ireland, they can target for Germany, right? So these are few of the options where they can have very good opportunities, and data is any which with the new future, what is being expected. So any which
Correct.
wherever you are targeting, so you're not going to face any sort of issue. That's all.
Okay, so data science is anyway booming. We all know it is the buzzword. We hear data science, data analytics, data everywhere. So I'm sure the future of data science is very bright. Research. So a lot of Vishwajit's answers tell me that you need to research. Think where the tech hubs are, find out where the popular, so the big Fortune 500 companies are. You will immediately get to know that these areas will have better placements. If you look for a place that is far away from tech hubs, then if you are pursuing data science, how will you get a job in those places? So just do a lot of research. I think a lot of data is now available, handy to us, Chat GPT, Bard. Go ahead, ask them questions, ask them that what are the opportunities available in San Francisco, California, etc., etc. They will tell you in detail. Abhishek is saying, my brother is looking for a master's in VFX and animation in Canada. So again, my question is whether IELTS is required. Vishwajit?
Yes, Abhishek. So if you're applying for Canada for any of the course, so yes, before going for a visa, like you need to have IELTS scorecard with you.
Okay. So Abhishek and all of you who are attending this session, don't be scared of IELTS. IELTS is just a very basic test that you can understand the course because the medium of instruction of these courses is English. So अगर आपको इंग्लिश का उतना लेवल नहीं समझ आएगा तो आप वहां पे जाके कोर्स अब्सॉर्ब कैसे करोगे, आप काम कैसे कर पाओगे? So don't be scared of IELTS. IELTS is a very basic test of English language. Even if you have to prepare for more months, say suppose मेरी इंग्लिश थोड़ी अच्छी है या किसी की इंग्लिश थोड़ी अच्छी नहीं है, आप उतना टाइम लेके चलो. But IELTS से आपको ये पता चल जाएगा that when you have these research books or you're supposed to study in English, how will you be able to do that unless you don't know English? So IELTS, don't be scared. It is very easy. We help with IELTS preparation, so that should not be an issue. If you enroll with us, we will help you out. We will make sure that you get good marks and you'll go to Canada. Pallav, I have a 4-5 year gap since 2019 with no work experience. I'm appearing for CA and now I want to pursue my MBA abroad for 2024 intake. What are my chances?
Okay, so like in terms of your gap part, Pallav, so first of all, I would like you to tell you that you don't have to worry about it. Because eventually for this, we are having so many programs where, like the counselor can help you out to find out the best universities for an MBA that you can pursue. And for that too, for 24 intakes itself, right? So eventually you can just drop off your details, like counselor will get in touch with you. And then you can have a detailed discussion, like which specialization you want to go with, whether it's finance or accounting, because you're coming from these sort of field. And there you can have a detailed discussion, a one-on-one discussion for this.
So Vishwajit, 4-5 years of a gap doesn't matter.
Yeah, so for this itself, like for this, we're having a specific approach, Aprajita, that is for this hybrid model, right?
Okay, okay,
So this is one of the thing that is actually solving majority of the problems which our students are having, right? In which they are supposed to do part of the course over here. And once they're done with it for the visa part and everything, then for the remaining part, they're moving to on campus, right? So
okay,
it
okay,
becomes quite accessible for them.
okay. Pallav, so your gap doesn't matter as long as you have all original documents and all your marks in place. You have a reason why you have this gap. I don't think there should be a problem. Um, Also, Pallav, please drop in your email ID, contact number on social@upgradabroad.com. That goes for all of you. Whoever is interested in studying abroad wants to have a one-on-one chat, which is completely free of cost, just to understand कि यार मैं ये कर पाऊंगा या मैं जाना चाहता हूँ, मैं फाइनेंस कर पाऊंगा, वीजा हो पाएगा कि नहीं. Please drop in your email ID and contact number. How can we enroll in second year of B.Tech in USA? Amarjeet is asking us.
Yeah, Amarjit. So, if I'm assuming like if you have already completed your first year and then you are saying that you want to move to the second year to any of the US university, so this is something which is like not possible. But yeah, for this we are having again this hybrid model where you can get into any STEM related courses for US, where you can just complete your first year here itself, and you can just fly to US from your second year onwards. So that's the best thing that you can have a discussion for. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Vishwas is saying, can you please share some non-typical option countries beside US, Canada, Australia, Germany, UK, New Zealand that are a decent option? Off the top of my head, Europe. You miss Europe. Europe में UK नहीं है, सिर्फ Europe. UK तो अलग हो गया. Europe में we have Germany, we have France, we have other options like off the top of my head, Ireland, Finland. Upcoming options, very decently priced. A lot of students go there. Actually, contrary to you thinking कि in destinations पे बच्चे नहीं जाते, Germany, France, बहुत बच्चे जाते हैं. Finland and Ireland also, Vishwajit, numbers are quite high because prices are very affordable, and all of these universities are very well ranked. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि कोई भी यूनिवर्सिटी, they are ranked on QS rankings, they have proper accreditation. So बहुत options है विश्वास. You just have to drop in your number and email ID. We will help sort out the most unconventional option for you. सबसे अच्छी जगह आपको अलग जगह भेजेंगे. Amarjeet is saying, do we have? Is there any career? Do you mean program, Amarjeet? Do you mean, do we have any civil engineering program? Because I remember last week we had a special webinar on MS in engineering, which was with, I think, a civil engineering concentration, if I remember correctly. Amarjeet, please rephrase your question. Thoda confusing here. What exactly do you want to know? Pallav is saying, thanks, I'll get in touch soon. Look forward to that, Pallav. Hybrid options are available for the US masters as well. Of course, yes, Vishwas, for all 8-9 countries that we are currently operating in, plus all the other countries that we are operating in through direct business, hybrid options are available for the 8 countries for sure. We can work out other options for you depending on what is it that you're exactly looking for. But there are about 100 course options that are there with hybrid education, with upGrad abroad, with the 50 universities that we have partnerships with. So yes, we do have hybrid options available. Which country university is best for LGBTQ students? I think LGBTQ is a big phenomenon. Don't worry, everybody knows about the wave that it's created. And I think all countries are super safe. But if you want us to do a thorough check and to get back to you saying that this area is safe or this is relatively better, we can do that for you on basis understanding your requirements as well. Shiva, I have missed October intake and confirmed as January intake. Vishwajit, can you tell us a little bit more about intakes? Maybe that will solve Shiva's question.
I think like Shiva's question is incomplete. You can just check at the last. Yeah, but eventually in terms of intake part, if I say so, yeah, so it totally depends on the student. Like let's say if you have missed one intake, so that's totally fine. You can just drop a mail to the university. They'll just give you a deferral And even upgrad abroad is there to help you out, right, to get the deferral for the next intake, whichever you want to move with. So that's not an issue. You can just get the solution for that. Yeah.
Okay. So there are 4 intakes as of what I know, and don't worry if you've missed that intake and you have, because you did not receive the education loan, is what I read in the end. That is completely fine. I don't think that makes any difference. January is a relatively smaller intake as compared to September, which is the major intake. But I don't think that matters. If the university is accepting students in January intake, good to go. Amarjeet is saying, I did not attend the last webinar. So Amarjeet, we had experts on board. We discussed civil engineering in detail. We discussed masters in detail. So the live recording will be available on YouTube. You can also mail to us at social@upgradabroad.com, and I'll make sure I can send that recording to you. You will understand from expert as to why civil engineering should be pursued. Why do you do an MS Eng instead of MBA or an MSc? So they answered questions very beautifully. So Amarjeet, please drop in a mail at social@upgradabroad.com. We'll be able to help you further. At this point in time, my colleague Arushi will also be dropping in our social media handles again. You can have a look. There is a webinar survey as well. If you wish to participate, if you wish to tell us what is your pain point, किस चीज के बारे में और आप जानना चाहते हो, क्या चीज है जो हम lack कर रहे हैं आपको बताने के लिए, we are more than happy to understand what your requirements are. It is all in the chat box. Also, I forgot to introduce myself too late into the webinar. I am Aprajita Tiwari and I work in the marketing department at upGrad Abroad. I see another question pop up. Okay, Chetan is saying, I have completed my B.Tech in 2012 and MBA in 2017. I have more than 8 years of experience. What universities in USA can accept my application for masters in computer science, and what will be the total cost?
Yeah, hi Chetan. So basically, like you've already shared part of your profile, right? So, but there are a few more things that we need to check. Right. So in terms of experience part and all, you have already holding good experience. So we're having a pool of universities where we can just, like fit your profile over there. So you can do one thing, the best part, what you can do is to drop your details, yes, in contact details, Aprajita will align one of the counselor for your profile. You will get a call in upcoming days, and eventually you can have a detailed discussion related to your specific universities and the costing part as well.
Absolutely. So sometimes, so you've given us very basic details, which are on paper, this looks great, but where exactly did you work? How, like, what was your designation? What was your mode of, working, etc. These are smaller nuances that need to be looked into. But don't worry, US is one of our biggest portfolios. We have a lot of universities in the US. Also, financing your education in the US, we have a finance partner called Empower, making your financing so easy. There was a webinar last week on financing your education. So if you're planning to do your master's in the US, that is a must-watch webinar. We spoke about such interesting things. You'll get to know so much more about how easy it is to finance your education. These options were not available in our times, but now you can definitely avail these options. Okay, I think there are no more questions. We'll take a couple of more and then we can go. Vishwajit, are there any scholarships या upGrad abroad के थ्रू कुछ waivers भी मिलते हैं, fee waiver या कुछ ऐसा discount होता है? Why should they join through us? Anything that we can talk about?
So that's the best part, Aprajita, like what we are doing over here for our students, right? So we are having very top-notch universities with us, where we are helping our students to get a scholarship of up to 35-40% as well. Right, so that's a way cheaper what they are investing by going with a traditional part or a directly part, right? So not only time, but we are actually making their journey more easy and more accessible in terms of the costing part as well, right? So they are getting very good scholarship. That's what we are actually working for. So wow, they are paying a huge amount of money as well.
So for all of you who are looking for scholarships, who are looking for fee waiver, और आपको लगता है upGrad abroad के साथ जाएंगे तो scholarship कैसे मिल पाएगी? तो we have special scholarships for you guys. जैसे विश्वजीत कह रहे हैं, उससे 35%, 40% तक भी बच सकता है. तो you can go the affordable way, the accessible way, the most democratized way आप अपना खुद program properly strategize कर सकते हो as to what is the exact thing you want to learn. I think we don't have any more questions, but yes, I think we've tended to all the questions. Thank you so much, all of you, for being a part of the webinar. Thank you, Vishwajit, for taking our time and answering all of these questions. We will definitely get you on board once again to answer more questions that we may have. Thanks to everybody who's participated. Just to emphasize, any free one-on-one counseling that you're looking for after this webinar, please write into us at social@upgradabroad.com. We'll be more than happy to arrange it for you. Vishwajit, any last words that you would like to say to our audience, and then we can say bye?
Yeah, the only thing which I would say to everyone that whatever the doubts, queries, concerns you're having, feel free to come to us. upGrad Abroad is there to help you out for all your doubts. Don't hesitate in terms of your finances and everything. We are there to help you out. You'll get the perfect solution. It just you are just step away from your dream coming true. That's what I would call to every of the students.
Okay, that's very positive. So it's your dream is one step away. You just have to come to upGrad Abroad. Thank you very much for joining the session. Arushi, we can end the webinar here. Thank you, Vishwajit.